Hi guys, Steve again with Search Highway, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about anchors and content for your GSA campaign. So anchors are a very important part of your campaign. This is really what's going to tell Google that our listing is relevant to be boosted to the top. Again, we're working off of Amazon, so we already have that powerful platform to work off of. So our links are really going to be what tells Google, okay, this listing is relevant for the keywords being searched for. And as we know, Google's quite fussy about their anchor text. So basically in this video, I'm going to tell you what types of anchors we need. In the next video, I'm going to tell you the exact percentages that we use. It's really our anchor recipe, if you want to call it that, to get our listings to the top. All right, and the content is it's important, but basically both of these are very straightforward, but the anchors are a very important part of getting your listing ranked. So like I mentioned, anchors are very important, and we've played with many different variations in order to craft our recipe to get our listings to the top. And basically we've come up with a recipe for what types of anchors you need and the actual percentages of each to input into GSA. And these really are essential not only for ranking, but also for maintaining it. So, like I mentioned in the previous video, the listing can vary, or it can, go up and down quite a bit. It can get slapped. Again, this isn't too much of a deal. It's not too big of a deal because Amazon is a platform where we can just put up another listing quite easily. Not like if it was our own website. So if we want to rank in the first place and maintain it, we want to keep track of our anchors and build the right types with the right percentages. So these are the anchors that we've come up with that we really need to send with GSA. So the main one is going to be URL and URL variations, right? So just your main URL with HTTP, www, with no www, with no HTTP. You can put some of it in capital letters or whatnot, but basically your URL and your URL variations, this is basically your brand anchor text. This is the most important. We also have partial matches. So, say we're using my example with carports. We want to do carports, Amazon.com, Amazon carports. A bit less important than URL variations, but this is something that we found is important to include. We also want generic anchor text. We found that we don't need as much as people claim. I think a lot of people put quite a bit of generic anchor text, like click here, website, stuff like that. But again, we do want to have enough percentages in other categories to tell Google that it's really relevant, right? And we want to be able to get it up there quickly. So, however, we do need some generic anchor text in there, like your click here's and stuff like that. Obviously, we do want our exact match keyword. We want it in there a certain percentage. We don't want it going too high, but we need to fit it in there. And very important with these listings is LSI keywords. So LSI is latent semantic indexing, latent semantic index. And basically these are keywords that are, long tail keywords, related keywords, synonyms. And basically what we do is we put in about 800 to 1,000 variations of our keywords. So basically what I'll be showing you in this video how to find these LSI anchors. So basically we start off with our keyword, so carports. We find some general synonyms, and then we'll scrape for some LSI keywords. So I'll show you that in a bit. And like I mentioned, LSI anchors, it's very important for keyword variation. You get a nice broad cluster of keywords. Provides really a big cloud of relevance, so you can actually rank for quite a few long tails, and provides support for your main keyword. And yeah, basically putting in a good chunk of LSI anchors in there, it only does good things for your listing. So two tools that we use to build our LSI anchor list are Ubersuggest and Scrapebox. So I'm going to show you how to use both of these right now. So let's hop over to my browser and I'll show you both Ubersuggest and Scrapebox. Alright guys, so I'm inside of Ubersuggest here, and this is just one of the options that we can use to build our LSI anchors for GSA. So if we use my test campaign, I'm just going to use the word carport. We're going to use this as our seed keyword. And basically what Ubersuggest does is it goes into Google and it uses the suggest tool. So when you're typing and some suggestions come up underneath it, basically Ubersuggest takes your seed keyword that you put in and it takes all the letters of the alphabet and make suggestions for you with it. So we can quite easily use this to fill up the LSI anchors that we need. Just type in the CAPTCHA here. And you can see here that it's basically taken carports and it's given us a whole bunch of suggestions, right? So it's taken the actual word and basically given us some of the most common searches. Then if we scroll down, we can see basically the top 10 searches with A, top 10 searches with B, C, and so forth. So here you can get quite a few variations with the word carport actually in it. And then what you can do is you can take synonyms of carport. You can take, garage. Just basically go into an online thesaurus, something like that. Figure out some synonyms and type it in here, and you can find a whole bunch of LSI keywords by doing that. Hi guys, so I'm inside of Scrapebox here, and Scrapebox is actually my favorite method of scraping for LSI keywords for GSA. Scrapebox is a great tool. I think every SEO should have it. If you don't have it, you should probably get it. So this is a very, very easy method and very quick method to scrape for LSI keywords. So basically you just want to go into Scrape over here and go into your keyword scraper. And I like to basically just put in, maybe, our main keyword and maybe about 5 synonyms. So we're using the word carport for our seed keyword. And just for this, I'll just put in, one synonym, which is garage. And basically just going to hit scrape. And it's basically going to scrape all sorts of keywords, related to it, synonyms, things that are actually searched for. So basically you have a whole list of keywords here. In about 5 seconds it's scraped, I'd say probably about 100 keywords. And essentially what I do then is, these will now become my new seeds to scrape for. So essentially with Scrapebox, all I need to do is clear your left-hand side, transfer this over to the left, right? I'm going to clear the right-hand side. Now these are my new seeds. Right, so now I'm going to scrape these ones, and I'm going to end up with even more long-tail keywords that I can put into GSA. Right, so again, we won't have to scrape for a few seconds, and there you go. So basically what you would want to do, now it's automatically copy these over to the left. You would have wanted to copy your previous seeds over to a spreadsheet. So you would have those 100. And now it's scraped, probably about, well, here we've got, another 137 LSI keywords, a bit longer tail. And basically, you'll just want to do the same thing. Usually I would let the scrape go for a little bit longer, maybe pick up about 200 or 300 at a time. So now you just copy paste these into a spreadsheet, clear this, and do another scrape. I usually don't go further than 3 scrapes. After that, you start getting some repetition of keywords, and usually this will be about right. So I'll scrape 2 or 3 times. I'd say it's enough. So you can see we're getting a lot of duplication with the keywords now. So when you see that happening, you just want to choose maybe some different synonyms, your initial seed keywords. And yeah, so after this, overall we want about I'd say between 800 and 1,000 LSI keywords, and that'll really go well into GSA to build up really the keyword cloud around our main keyword and build up the relevance when we're building links to our Amazon listing. All right, so now that we know how to build our LSI anchors for GSA, I'm going to show you how to build your content. So obviously, whenever we're building links, we need content to go along with it, build some contextual links. And so it's very straightforward, especially using Content Machine, which is our favorite tool that we've used for this. We've tried some other ones, and they're more complicated. And Content Machine, it does what we need. It's simple. It gets our ranking, so there's no need to overcomplicate it. I like to update my content about every 4 to 5 days. This ensures that I'm getting fresh new articles in there. This isn't absolutely necessary. This is what I do. Sometimes I forget, and I'll only update it after 7 days or 10 days. But I'd say best practice. You'll see using Content Machine is very simple, so we can just go in there every 4 to 5 days and build out some new articles. All right, so let's head over to my VPS. I'll show you how to use Content Machine. All right, guys, so I'm inside of Content Machine here, and this is just going to be a very quick tutorial on how to build your content. It's actually very, very easy with Content Machine. So I'm just going to go here, make a new campaign. Scraper settings up here will be for your proxy, so I'm not going to go into there right now just because my private proxies are in there. So the campaign settings, basically I just leave this as is. Paragraph, sentence variations, I just leave this as it is here. And so campaign, we're just going to call this carport, main keyword, carport, second keyword, garage. I usually like to fill in all 3 keywords here just so Content Machine will then scrape for articles from all 3 keywords rather than just limiting itself to one. So I have carport, garage, and I don't know, something related like storage. Okay, so content quality, I usually like to go with tier 1. It'll basically tell you on the left here what each is. I like to go with tier 1 just for the highest quality content. The spinner, depending on which spinner you have a subscription to, I would recommend Spin Rewriter. The best spinner is also good. So you're going to need a spinner attached to the software here. There's also a spinner built into the CAM spinner, but I felt it doesn't work very well. I found Spin Rewriter is the best one to go with. All right, so images and videos, you're going to want, I just put random, image, video, or none. Over here you have an advanced tab. You can set a whole bunch of settings for your images or your videos. I just leave this as is. Article tweaks, again, I just leave this pretty much as is. 6 to 11 paragraphs seems like a good amount for an article. Really, I just leave this as is with the rest of the stuff. And bookmark tweaks, add-on content, I don't touch that at all. So you're going to go next here, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to put in one contextual link into each article. That's essentially what we want. We want one link out to our listing. And essentially what's going to happen within GSA is going to read from Content Machine, right? So there's basically a connection between Content Machine and GSA where GSA knows the format of Content Machine content. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to recognize that we've put in one contextual link. So we've given it the option to put in one contextual link. And GSA is going to fill in that link with the anchors that we built already, right? And it's going to do it with the percentages that we tell GSA, which I'm going to show you in the next video. So basically what we want to do is within here, for our URLs, right, we don't actually have to put in an actual URL. Because we know GSA is going to fill this in with our actual URL, I just put in a dummy variable. So I just put in http:// right? And for our keywords over here, again, GSA is going to fill this in as well. And I can just put in a dummy variable of, carport. And basically, GSA will replace that. It'll replace our keyword with whatever the percentages are that we put into our campaign. And down here, we've got follow. I put in 100% follow links. With my anchor and brands, again, this is going to be dealt with in GSA with the percentages that we do. So I just leave this as is down here. Now we can activate image links here as well. I don't always do that. I do that sometimes. you can do this to provide some variation. I don't always do this, so I'll just leave that out for now. But again, it would be the same way as you would do contextual links. And basically, you're just going to go to build and export. So we have GSA search engine ranker, and you can change the settings in here a bit if you want. But essentially here, this is what we're saying: replacing all keywords and all URLs with, this is the what GSA reads. So essentially, it's going to replace any keyword you put in with the anchors that we put into GSA, and it's going to replace all URLs with whatever URL we put into GSA. All right, so basically all there is to do now, in terms of the template builder, you don't have to touch this. I usually go with about 35 articles to start off with. And like I mentioned, I'll replace these about every 4 to 5 days. All right, your settings over here, you can basically just change where it exports your files to. Wherever you want to put them on your desktop or whatnot. And then we're just going to click export. So then after you click export, it's just going to scrape for articles, and it'll probably take, for 35 articles, it'll probably take about 20 minutes or something to build your content, depending on how fast your VPS is. So here you can just see Content Machine actually working. It's searching for content, and it's basically going to go through our settings and start pulling in, it's looking for images and videos, looking for articles, it's going to pull them all in, and then essentially it's going to spin all the content that it finds with, in our case, Spin Rewriter. All right, so again, just leave this go for a few minutes and you'll have all your content built for GSA. All right, so now that we know how to build our LSI anchors and our content, we basically just need to input it into GSA now. So in our next video, I'm going to give you a complete GSA walkthrough. I'm going to show you all of the exact percentages that we use for our anchors, all the different settings that we use within GSA. And we're really not going to leave any stone unturned. We're going to show you exactly what we do. This is pretty much the recipe that we came up with to rank our listings. And we're going to show you exactly how we do it. All right, so I'll see you in the next video where I'll show you everything you need to know about GSA.